All right, North Lacrosse. Welcome to the season 5-6 D1s 2022. Can't wait to get started. Got our first practice this week. This is Coach Mahoney coming to you from the tactics board. I'm going to make some quick videos to help go over the building blocks of the offense and the defense that we'll put in on the field this year. And one of the most important things, as always, is going to be our fundamentals. Passing and catching will be absolutely critical to our ability to do really anything on offense. But before we can even think about running set plays or anything like that, you don't even necessarily need to do that, right? In lacrosse, it's not a super complicated game. If you can pass and catch, you can make a lot of different things happen. And the one thing that we're going to start with that I want to talk about in this video is what's called a give and go. This shouldn't be new to any of you. We've practiced these during winter skills. But what I want to talk a little bit more about is the mentality behind a give and go. And that being the idea that the ball carrier is never taking himself out of the offense. There can be a temptation that when you have the ball, once you pass that ball, mentally you can kind of check out. You can say, okay, I don't have the ball anymore. I don't have to worry about this defender giving me a hard time anymore. I'm not going to get checked. I can take a little breather and just watch and see what my teammates do with it. What I want us to be thinking all the time is if you are an offensive player and you do not have the ball, you are as important to that offensive play, if not more important, than the ball carrier. Because the guy with the ball, guess what? He's drawing all the defensive attention. Okay, he's going to be getting checked, and people are going to be trying to stop him. The people who do not have the ball, you have the opportunity to move around and make some stuff happen. So let's talk about the give and go. In this instance, we have the ball coming down top center. We've got our midi who want to face off, or maybe we're on a transition, whatever the case may be. As he comes down the field, we're going to do the very, most basic thing we can do, which is just a give and go. So the first thing we want to see is we want to see that offensive player with the ball move the defense. Okay, if the defense is down here and they're playing off and they're not interested in coming up and playing ball, then I would say don't go to the give and go. If you go give and go here, there's no go, right? Because your defense is already set to defend you. So in order for this to really work, you need to make that defender come out and play you. One way you can do that is by executing a V cut, or really just kind of coming a little bit further into the heart of the defense. At some point, one of those defenders is going to have to yell, "I got ball," and come after you and play. Once that defense comes that way and you've made him move, now's when you get to execute your give and go. So you pass out to your wing midi, we'll say over in this direction. This defender is probably going to watch where you pass that ball. A lot of times it's just an instinct to turn your head and watch where that ball goes. As an offensive player who just threw that ball, I want you to be looking for that head turn, because if that player turns his head, guess what? He's not looking at you anymore. You get to be a little offensive ninja now and cut behind him. Okay, the best place to execute a give and go is when your defender is still nice and tight to you, because by the time you're past him, he's not catching up to you. You're going to be hands-free in the middle of the defense, waiting for that ball to come in where you can make the catch, shoot, and score. All right, if the defender does what he should do, right, let's say he comes out and plays you up here, okay, he's like, "I got a ball," he's playing you hard here and you pass out. His instinct should be to recover to the middle. Like, that should be just instinctive. On a string, he should be snapping back at least to about here. But a lot of times, defenders, when the ball carrier that they're defending passes that ball, guess what? The defenders will take a little bit of a break too. They'll think, okay, well, I don't have to defend him anymore. I'm just going to catch my breath here. And so they won't move in, or what we call spider or slough in. So I want you, as the ball carrier who is passing that ball, take advantage of that. Cut behind him, run your cut, stick up. And this man here, you have to realize you're going to have a defender on you as well, right? So you should have a guy who's playing what we would call the hot right position right here. And so if the ball gets passed down, he should approach you, all right, to play you. And so in order to deal with his approach, we're running our cut. Good chance this midi needs to float up a little bit to get the angle, just to float away. But this guy's on the run. So again, you're going to find that lane that you can pass that give and go and take that shot. Now, it's important to also realize that this isn't just a midi thing, right? Any offensive player can work this. So let's get our attackman down here. So we'll be working what's called an open offense initially, where we're just in a big circle. No one in here on the crease all the time. We'll have guys go in there sometimes. And so in this offense, let's say that this midi's up here, he passes down and this midi snaps back like he should. Well, that's not a great place for a give and go, so he shouldn't go. He should just stay up top there. So this midi needs to decide what he's going to do. His defender's coming out to play him. Okay? Once that happens, let's say he decides that he's going to pass down. Okay? But guess what? He can run behind now as well. So while this pole's coming out to play this attackman, as he runs his cut behind, It's right there. Hit him on the run, shot. Okay. All of these are good opportunities. And then same thing goes here. Let's say this attackman's here. We got a pole playing him there. We got the other pole defender over here. These guys are sloughed off in this position. And so this attackman's under pressure. He rolls down a little bit, passes down to X, and rather than thinking, okay, good, I don't have to get beat up by this pole anymore, he's going to actually cut over the top with what we would call kind of a banana cut over the top. This pole's coming down to play ball. So this attackman would just kind of roll out looking for that angle, drawing that, recognize he might be coming or he's probably coming back in, but regardless, this player has now beat him, is rolling over the top, find that angle, take your shot, or take your feed, followed by a shot and score. That's it, man. That's the give and go in a nutshell. We will practice that a lot because it's really just passing and catching. So when you're warming up before practice and you're doing partner passing, I want you to be thinking about give and goes. That's what should be in your mind. You're basically practicing give and goes when you're playing catch, okay? Except you're going to be on the move in a give and go. So that's all I've got for this first video for the offense. Can't wait to get out on the field and start going. So we'll see you guys this week. Go North.